Avengers Infinity War. This is, again, your warning. Spoilers are going to be involved throughout this whole episode. So if you guys have not watched it, then don't watch this episode right now, or don't listen to this episode right now at this moment. Come back at a later date and check this episode out.
If you haven't watched...
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong? Yeah. Jesus Christ. You know, I'm not lying, man. The day of, I want to go watch it. It was like spoilers started to pop up on my phone.
I know.
Jaime Corona, you jerk face punk. He's a friend of mine. And he kept tagging me to stuff. He was, John, 30 minutes into the movie.
Why, man?
He was like, he was just sending me memes. He kept saying, I don't know.
That's not cool.
I think he was drunk or something. I think he was, oh man, he was going to kill him. And I was waiting in line. I was second in line with me and my family. And I opened my phone and bam, and I immediately closed it.
I almost saw stuff numerous times because I didn't get to go see it until that Saturday.
Yeah.
That's when everybody was like, available to go. And I was avoiding everything like the plague, dude. And I almost read something, and then I scrolled up like real quick. Let's see here. Okay.
Not yet. Wait, man. Dude, hold on. Come on now.
We got to go in order here. All right. So, Avengers: Infinity War, one of the biggest movies, anticipated movies of pretty much all time, especially as far as the Marvel Cinematic Universe goes. 10 years, 18 movies. Yeah. It's taken this long to get to that point, and finally we're here, and the movie was just phenomenal.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It's like I said in my other video, it's very rare that I say that, especially with an Avengers movie, because the Avengers movies are always, they're good.
Yeah.
But they always kind of have their faults here and there. They're not perfect. This one is near perfect as I can, as I can tell, for the most part. There are little things here and there.
Yeah.
We'll get to those after a while. But opening of the movie, you see, basically it's a continuation from the end credit scene of Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And we're introduced to Thor and the Black Order, like that. And almost immediately, and all hell's broken loose.
Yeah.
So okay. With all that stuff going on, we were pretty much on the nose of who we thought was gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Loki went, pretty much snapped his neck.
That we know of, because
that we know of, yes, but
he did do a little switcheroo before in the past.
He did try to make Thanos did try to make it a point to say no more resurrections.
Yeah.
So like he knows.
Well, I mean,
he's done that before.
Loki is the master of what he does. I mean, I don't care how good Thanos is, but for a minute there, and Loki came out from behind the wall. Hey guys, I mean, it's kind of brave or really stupid.
Well, I think he was trying to see if he could get in a little bit because he has a connection to Thanos to a certain extent. And then he even said, "Oh, like what? Your failure? Like
Yeah, brought that back up."
But yeah, so I kind of already had a feeling he was gonna go. The one I didn't think was gonna go was Heimdall.
I did.
You think so? You thought so?
Yeah, I'm happy. Well, I hate to say it, I'm happy he's dead because I want him to be Spawn.
Well, Idris Elba, he had already for years he had already said like he didn't like being in the movies that very much, like those Marvel movies.
Really?
He was like, it's just too much. Like it's too much to put on all the stuff, get all dressed up and all that stuff. I just want to act, kind of thing. So I think they probably said, okay, look, here's what we're gonna pitch you. There is gonna be an ending for you at some point.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, okay, cool.
Well, he can be Spawn. It'd be cool. He's not. You don't even have to put on the.
He would be a badass Spawn.
He would.
Yeah.
And somebody responded to me was like, John, Idris Elba can't be every black superhero, okay? I was like,
why not?
Why not? I bet you he'd play a good Green Lantern.
Oh, dude, yes.
I bet
John
he would.
Stewart?
Yes, he would.
Hell yeah.
But
anyway, so after that, during that sequence, you see Heimdall in his last breath.
Yeah.
Teleport Hulk back to Earth.
After the Hulk got his ass whooped.
Oh, and that's the other thing, yes. And throughout the whole movie, you know, we see this like overall story arc with Banner and Hulk, where Banner can't turn into Hulk, and Banner doesn't know why. And he's like, "Come on, man! Like, you know."
Is he still that blind? So like, I guess he can't see what's going on when the Hulk is there.
No, not really.
So then why couldn't he see that ass whooping?
He gets an idea. He gets an idea, but even with the ass whooping though, he's like, "Why don't you come out? Like, come on."
No.
The thing is,
and he answers
Hulk has never been beat up like that before. He's never been knocked out like that.
But was it? Do you think that was a really severe?
Yeah,
I think it was.
I mean, he knocked him out to the point where he left him bloody. That's never really happened with Hulk before, like fighting somebody else. He's been hit.
I mean, when he fought Abomination, he was.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's been hit and thrown around everywhere, but never really knocked out like that.
That was pretty quick too.
And he just went boom, boom, yeah, and grabbed him, threw him on the floor, and all that stuff. So you see over that whole arc with Banner and Hulk, you get the idea that like Hulk's scared. Mm-hmm. Where he's tripped out, he's just like, no. He's like, I don't want to get my ass whipped again.
Yeah.
You know? So that was an interesting little thing that I think hopefully they keep going into the other Avengers 4 movies.
Where the hell was Hulk when they were slaying everybody?
Well, that's what I'm saying. He don't want to come out.
No, but like, and then Loki's all like, you know, one thing you need to remember, we got Hulk. Whoa! Then he comes out, you know.
Oh,
like,
maybe he was on another part of the ship. You see, there are things that they didn't explain either, like how Thanos got the first Infinity Stone. Yeah. I really would have liked to see him go to Xandar.
Yeah.
And even if it was just a brief glimpse of him, you know, walking away from destruction there or something like that, that would have been really cool. And if that's the case, this is a good in to have Nova come in somewhere.
Oh my god!
Because if he went and wrecked shop over on Xandar, maybe there's no more Nova Corps left.
And then
and he's the only one left.
He's the only one, and he's all like,
you know,
and he takes off, you know.
So that would be a good little in for Nova at some point. But yeah, so we get to see Hulk fall right into the Sanctum Sanctorum, and then we get the introduction with reintroduction with Tony Stark and Pepper Potts again. They're talking about life and all this. It looks like they're about to get married,
have baby,
and things like that. So the whole exchange with Hulk being at the Sanctum Sanctorum and saying Thanos is coming.
Yeah, he was all scared.
And he was like turning back into Banner at that point. You see a little bit of green here and there. That is a nod to the Infinity Gauntlet comic, where Silver Surfer is the one that gets thrown down and thrown into the Sanctum Sanctorum, and basically says the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of flipped a little bit.
Silver Surfer is all like when Galactus was coming. Galactus is coming. And then
oh shit, guys,
Thanos is coming. Dude, they're always whooping your ass and sending you to Earth. You know.
So and then almost immediately, we get Doctor Strange calling on Tony Stark and all that stuff, and then they do their talking, and almost immediately we get a battle.
Yeah.
So, and that was the one thing that I really appreciated about this movie, that there was very little slowdown. There
was very, very little, man.
And I loved seeing Ebony Maw and Cole Obsidian, which is Black Dwarf in the comics, there in New York. Ebony Maw has to probably be my favorite out of all the children of Thanos.
Ebony Maw was which one? The tall, skinny one?
Squidward,
yeah, that one.
And when he called him Squidward,
he had the most to talk to, and he was so...
He had the most to talk. He looked like he was the most powerful.
He did.
As well.
No, he's like...
he was just splitting cars just by doing this number.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, man.
And
he tell him, too, like, your power ain't shit.
Yeah.
You know? He's like...
I loved it.
Just stop.
I was like, that's a villain right there.
Yeah.
That's a villain. I love the villains that are just calm and collected, but can whoop your ass without even making a single facial expression. You know,
those are the ones that make good stories, man.
Yes,
like in Dragon Ball Z, almost kind of like Black Goku. Those powerful beings is just like nothing really phases him.
Yeah,
and like everything he spits at you, like he says at you, it's an asshole remark, and also it's just like just stop, just stop. You know, just. You know, the guy was really, really cool.
Yeah,
the fight scene was awesome.
Really loved him. Cole Obsidian, the big one, He really wasn't my favorite out of
he
all
didn't
of
do
them.
anything.
I know he was basically like just another version of the Hulk, basically. But, an evil version of the Hulk that didn't do much.
He reminds me like he could be the dad of the fat kid that's a friend of Peter Parker. Like if they run into each other, Dad, you know, just, Poppy.
And also seeing during that whole fight scene, I love the way Doctor Strange's cape kind of maneuvered around for him and stuff like that. It basically saved his life
a couple times. Help whoop ass, you
know. That was really good. And seeing the bleeding edge armor for the first time, the Iron Man armor, was pretty awesome. It was pretty astounding. I think me and you agree that this is probably the coolest Iron Man armor out there.
I really like the Homecoming Iron Man outfit. It's the Ultimates one, but I really like that one. This one, man. Oh my god.
This one was pretty cool, man. The stuff that it could do was pretty impressive.
The beans.
Those
little arch beans. He had what? 4 of them?
Yeah.
2 big ones, 2 medium ones.
See,
and then he had his hands up.
Another thing, we didn't see him do like I've seen promo pictures of him with the little arms like come out, like 4 arms.
Really?
Out of his back. We didn't get to see that during the movie.
Like blasters? Like
well, they're those things that came up in the front, but they attached like out of his arms like little arms.
Yeah.
I mean, out of his arms, out of his back like little arms, almost like the way the Spider-Man legs.
Yeah.
We didn't get to see that, so that was a little weird. But I love the fact that armor can pretty much transform into anything.
Yeah.
You know?
And I hate to jump, but when he shot the thing onto Thanos' hand, when he says prevent him from closing his hand.
Yeah.
And it clamped on, I was like, how did he have that? And then through the movie was going, I was like, he can turn that into anything.
He can turn into anything he wants. Yeah.
That's so cool, man.
So he has a weapon for pretty much every occasion.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I loved it. I love the way it comes on his body and the way it's stored basically in the nanotech is stored right in the little.
But he had to have that
arc reactor,
that outfit on, because she kept telling him. Pepper was telling him.
Well, it was just the thing, the little thing in the middle.
Oh, okay.
They're all stored in that little disc. So that was really cool. What else?
And that they talked about removing it.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, it's protection for me and you.
Yeah, it was more of like he was just worried. It was a safety precaution kind of thing. We did see Spider-Man and Doctor Strange get sucked up into the ship. And as soon as he got onto that ship, Spider-Man, I was like, oh, they're going too high. They're going too high. He's not gonna be able to breathe up there. And sure enough, they brought that up. Thankfully, because if they wouldn't, it would have been like, come on now.
Yeah.
You know.
What if he would have created the web basket with the air and he would have he's done that before.
I know. Underwater, he's done that. A little bag of air.
Yeah.
And then we get to see Tony Stark say,
something
unload 17A.
Yeah.
And then this thing just shoots out all across the whole city, basically, all the way up to Spider-Man, and it's the Iron Spider suit.
Yes.
And it looked phenomenal. I love it.
I thought the whole Iron Spider thing that was already in him, in the suit, because remember how she says, you want to go destroyer mode or whatever?
Oh yeah.
Berserk mode or whatever. I figured that's what it was. If he would have said, go berserk mode or something, and then it would have...
It just comes on.
But no, it was...
Yeah, and it's basically, again, made out of that same nanotechnology.
Yeah, buddy.
We didn't get to see him, see it come off of him or anything like that.
But the mask...
The mask, yeah. So that was really cool. I loved it.
Did you see the gold cuffs?
No, I didn't. I didn't notice it.
In the comic, he has, these...
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay, yeah.
Whatever. Kind of like Starfire.
It goes right over,
yeah,
to the top of his, yeah.
There was a couple scenes where he had him on, and then there was other scenes. I guess when he was fighting, they weren't there anymore.
Huh?
So I don't know.
Continuity error. But yeah, so then we get to see basically what's his name, Ebony Maw start messing with Doctor Strange on the ship, basically torturing him, trying to get that time stone.
And that thing, those needles.
Yeah. That was kind of like...
what is he saying? We use this for operations, but we can use these for torturing too.
Yeah.
Like, oh man! And they were all he was doing was just tapping them, just touching them. and you can see his nerves just, whew, man.
And then that whole sequence with all that was pretty phenomenal as well, because we get to see, we saw Spider-Man reference another movie.
Yes.
And he was referencing Aliens and blew a hole in the ship, and then Ebony Maw got sucked out. And I don't know if you even noticed. I started kind of giggling a little bit at that part where he gets sucked out of the ship and starts like freezing. He's almost in the same pose as the alien queen.
Oh, come on, man.
He's like this, like.
On Alien Resurrection, remember they do that? They blow a hole through the ship, and then the alien gets pushed up against it, and then it starts to suck the alien out little by little.
Yeah.
And it's, eventually it's like a hole about that big.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of the ship, you see the guts and everything falling out.
I love that.
I thought that's what was going to happen.
That's what I thought too.
They
I thought
sucked him
like
way the hell out. And
I thought something like that was going to happen too, but I'm like, oh, it's a little too gory.
Everything was cool. Why? And another thing too. Why the hell does Tony Stark have a flip phone?
Okay, that's explained.
It is?
At the end of Captain America: Civil War, Cap FedExes a package to Tony Stank. Oh. and it's a flip phone.
Yeah.
Basically saying, if you ever need me, call
That's
me.
right. I forgot about that.
And I love. We'll go back to that part. We'll probably be jumping around a lot during this thing because I start remembering things. I love that part. I love the fact that he had that flip phone.
He had it on him.
Now,
he kept charging it.
One of my wants was that I wanted to see a reunion, like a reconciliation between Cap and Iron Man, and it looked like we were gonna get it, but it didn't happen.
Oh.
And they never see each other in the movie at all.
Yeah,
if you really think about it. He had the phone and he was about to call, and then that's when everything happened with Ebony Maw outside, and then Banner finds the phone later, and then he calls.
I'll do
Cap,
it.
while Iron Man is up there doing everything else, all that other stuff.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that we actually got to see, Iron Man and Spider-Man basically team up.
Yeah.
We got their father and son dynamic in Spider-Man: Homecoming, but we never really saw them fight with each other, side by side.
And there were still arguments,
Yeah.
There were still, Bluray Dan says, "Yo, I forgot about the phone." Go tell him, man, the damn phone.
Yeah. Actually, I know a lot of people did say, well, my mom and my wife both were like, why does he have a flip phone? Mm-hmm. I was like, guys, you don't remember?
Uh-huh. It was cool. His glasses.
Timestamp 2 hours and 15 minutes in Captain America: Civil War. I mean, that meme. I was just joking on the timestamp. I don't know.
Okay, but okay now, and so then after that, where did that put us at? That puts us at the Guardians, right?
The Guardians, yes. We see the Guardians, and they're going about their business, trying to do their thing on their new ship. Do you know what it's called?
Oh, first off, as soon as I heard that, dun, 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 I was jamming, man. For real, me and my little girl, we were sitting there. I had that on my iPod. I rocked that shit in my truck, man. I'm not lying. And for those of you who don't know who that is, it's an old band called the Spinners.
Yes,
the Rubber Band, man. And anyways,
I
love
I love the fact that James Gunn, that had to be James Gunn's doing.
Yeah.
Pick great music for the Guardians.
And everybody's singing. Everybody's just jamming. Gamora, she's partying. And then Groot, a.k.a. my son, Nathan. I swear to God, you look at Nathan. I'm telling you. Oh, my God. Walk around. You barely understand what the hell he's saying, and Groot,
And he pretty much went almost the whole movie with the video game in his hand.
Defenders.
The whole time, yeah.
He's playing Defenders.
So they had the Milano. They no longer have the Milano. This new ship is called the Benatar.
Pat Benatar.
Yep.
Stupid.
Yeah, I think James Gunn had confirmed that or something
Pat
like
Benatar.
that.
She was hot back then, man. She was real hot.
Just like the Milano was Alyssa Milano.
Alyssa Milano.
So I thought that was pretty cool. And then seeing again, we get to see that full scene this time with Thor, Thor running into the Guardians and then bringing him on board. Some of the funniest lines were in this exchange.
Yes.
We have Guardians, which again is a really entertaining, funny movie, humorous, and then we have Thor, which he just came off of Thor Ragnarok, which was one of the most hilarious movies. So there had to be some really good comedy in there. We get them basically ogling Thor on the table, and they're feeling his muscles and all that stuff. It's like, whoa, he looks like I guess the mixture between a pirate and an angel was one of them. And then it's like, oh, look at this dude. It's like, no, he is not a dude. He is a man.
He's a man.
You are a dude.
You are a dude. Oh, man.
And they were roasting Star-Lord like crazy.
And what was...
You're one cheeseburger away from fat.
Star-Lord and that freaking mustache.
Yeah,
man.
I know.
Oh, that stash got on my nerves, man.
So a lot of really good moments in that exchange right there. One of my favorites. James Gunn, fun fact, James Gunn was actually the one... the Russo brothers allowed James Gunn to write the lines for the Guardians.
Yeah. I like that. I really do.
Because who knows the Guardians more than James Gunn?
Yeah, right. And it did. That whole scene seemed like like you were watching a
Guardians movie. Yeah,
it was so cool. That whole exchange of them trying to figure out what to do and where to go and everything. I liked how they kept with the names whenever they went somewhere, and it showed.
For the Guardians, you said space.
Yeah, right. And they were going all these places or whatever. I thought it was really cool. The morons.
Oh my god.
Okay, the morons, you go here, and then
Rocket was like, "You morons, go over there." And then whenever him and Thor and Groot took off, he's like, "I bid you adieu, morons."
Oh, man.
Goodbye, morons.
I was the only one that laughed. I was the only one. Oh, man. I don't know. I don't know what was wrong with the crowd that was there watching movies with me, watching the movie with me. But, man, I was the only one that, I think I was the only one that laughed.
That laughed at certain things?
Yes. And there was one dude snoring his ass off. Yeah, he was just...
I honestly had to have like this like internal conversation with my bladder before I went in. I'm like, don't you fail me now, man.
You gotta go right now.
I'm like, don't you fail me now. I've waited 10 years for this movie.
You just think, man, David was having a conversation with his wiener. He's just like, hey, man.
Like, hey, listen up.
He's like, hey, look at me. Hey, you hit it.
It makes the door stop sound. Boom.
But yeah, it was funny. I loved it. So
it felt just like a Guardians movie. It didn't feel like the Guardians were an Avengers movie. You know what I mean? All the characters felt very much their own thing. You know.
Now this is where I forget, because I know they go elsewhere. Well, Thor, Groot, and Raccoon go one way.
Yes.
And then the morons go where? Oh, they go to
they go to nowhere.
Where the collector is.
Where the collector is.
How the hell did he move all that stuff?
And we get to see basically the Guardians meet Thanos.
Yeah.
For the first time, really.
That was pretty quick. I didn't think that was gonna happen.
I know. I think they were trying to push the story along really, really quick.
Pretty quick, yeah.
Quick enough, anyway. And we see, Gamora goes right after, Thanos, and looks like she kills him, and he's like, "Oh, my daughter, why?"
Yeah.
And I was like,
nah.
I know better than that. Come on.
I thought the same thing, but I was like, "Hey, it's pretty good, man. They do connect.
That do connect. Give this man the Academy Award.
Just give him the goddamn stone, please. Just give him somebody. Because I mean, he was all
as a hell of a performance.
Yeah, dude. Instead of the stone, just give him the badge, man. That was really good.
But yeah, Josh Brolin. Yes, Josh Brolin was amazing. I thought his even though he does voice acting and motion capture for Thanos, so it's like he was like literally Thanos. He was acting like Thanos, and I thought he did great, man. The voice matches up perfectly with him. Like you hear the bass in his voice, and I was like, yes, that's Thanos. That's a powerful being, that can just kill you.
Tron.
It's Tron. And I had like a back and forth. I still to this day with Ultron in Age of Ultron.
Oh man,
his voice doesn't go with Ultron. I don't know. To me, it doesn't. It bugs me. It really does. Because it's like, you hear like this, like, I don't want to say squeaky voice, but it's not like an all-powerful type of, commanding voice.
Wait a minute.
It's more like the guy that you see down at the bus stop.
Wait. Like, you talking about the guy who did the voiceover for Ultron?
Yeah.
You didn't like that?
Mm-mm.
Really?
I didn't like it.
I loved it.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, he was kind of like quippy and stuff like that. He felt real like, like in some cases kind of funny, but I don't know. I wanted somebody more commanding, like, again, like a Josh Brolin.
Even like the part where there's no strings on
that part. I did like. That part I
man.
did like. That part was creepy.
Yeah.
I guess if he can do anything, he can do creepy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I still have an issue with that. But Josh Brolin was just phenomenal. I thought he was great. He really brings life to Thanos to a certain extent.
Did that not look like freaking Guillermo del Toro at some points? There was like some
Guillermo
shots.
del Toro,
right? Guillermo, no, who am I thinking?
Benicio
del Toro. Oh, my bad.
Kinda.
It was a couple. I don't know. It didn't look like it was him. And then there was one part where he didn't look like he had fingers because he was clapping, and there was like the glove was flapping.
Oh wait, who? The Collector?
Yes,
that is Benicio del Toro.
I know, but no, at some of the the shots didn't look like him.
Oh, it's possible.
It looked like somebody else with stupid makeup on.
That's possible though.
And then it looked like he was missing a finger. And I know this because I work with a guy that's missing fingers, and he just cuts the glove when he puts it on. When he puts it on, and he does this, and those two glove fingers. I'm sorry, man, but shit's hilarious. But like he was doing this, and pay attention to it. I don't know if it was just me, but
I don't know. It's quite possible though that maybe they just like digitally put somebody in there or something, like somebody else. I don't know, because he wasn't there that long.
No,
and we don't really get to see what happened to him either. Maybe he's dead. I don't know. I know the whole thing is destroyed. Ultron had like a mischievous voice.
Very mischievous.
I give you that.
And that's the dude that did the voice for the dragon in Lord of the Rings, right? Or not?
No, that's Benedict Cumberbatch.
That wasn't the same guy?
Doctor Strange.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. You just... Anyway. That's when we see that basically, the whole Collector's place is destroyed. And we get an idea that he already had the stone. So he recreated this, and even himself being there as a ploy to get the Guardians to come out. That whole thing with the Guardians, like, Quill was just doing this, like, like hold. And I already called it. I'm like, they don't know what that means.
I told you that.
And then they kept going. And he's like, damn. I'm like,
yeah.
And
how does he know
Drax
that?
Nearly screwed up everything.
Yeah.
Because he had rage and all that stuff.
But then they put him down on accident. It was like they
needed
him.
They put him to sleep.
Yeah, but they already had was given away.
Well, they were trying to stop him from going out there, and then nobody thought to catch him before he fell.
Boom!
But in that moment when Thanos faced off against the Guardians, I legit thought that we had lost already Drax and Mantis. Because he made Drax into blocks.
Yeah.
And then Mantis into just like
paper.
Paper, whatever.
Like the corn video.
And
come undone.
So I when that happened, oh no. Because I thought they had gone. Like we lost them already. They were dead. So I was like, man, already at that point I was like, this death toll is gonna be high.
It's gonna be
not
pretty
knowing the end result.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, so I thought that whole exchange was good. And then Quill was trying to do what Gamora said was to kill her.
Hey, think about this. If he would have done what she asked, how pissed would have Thanos would have been?
Yeah, he would have been pretty pissed.
I mean, we see how he feels about her.
Yeah, and then that's another ongoing story arc over the movie.
Even after her betrayal, after stabbing the fake Thanos or whatever,
we really
still loves her.
We really do get a sense of that father-daughter dynamic, and he really does love her. You see the genuine, love he has for her.
Yeah.
Now it's not reciprocated. Well, it kind of is, because she was crying, after he was like supposedly dying, quote unquote. And then that's when he was like, "Oh, so I do see some remorse, in your eyes." So that was an interesting aspect. What goes on after that?
Bubbles.
The Bubbles.
Then he takes off with Gamora, and then
that's when he looks at Quill and he's like, "I like you," and then he just takes off. And then from there we see Gamora and Thanos like just talking it out, like, you know, so girl, I need that Infinity Stone, that Soul Stone. I know you know where it's at. I don't know where it's at, but I know you know where it's at. Don't lie to me. And then we see Nebula
torn apart,
taken apart. That was actually kind of cool.
That was.
I dug that. Man,
they show that cuts back to Strange and being tortured, I think.
Yes.
And right? Or we backtracking?
Well, I think we're kind of going back and forth. We had already covered the whole Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah. That's right. So then it's like plan time. I think at this point, that's when Banner already made the phone call. So Cap and them, you start. Oh, you know what ran through my head was the whole. This is when Scarlet Witch and they show.
Yeah, that's right.
Vision. She was so happy and all that stuff, and I kept thinking, man, this stupid girl got over the whole incident that she killed, like she blew that building up.
I know.
And people, I was like, man, she forgot about that. You horrible woman. Nah,
and make her feel all bad.
I want to make her feel bad. Yeah, I do. And but anyways, so then there's that scene. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, and I like the fact that they actually explored a relationship between them two. Like they always had in the comments.
You know, and I think with her power, they still didn't show. I mean, how pissed can you be? You saw your significant other get torn apart, and you don't get mad. Get mad.
Well, I see.
You know,
I think that's coming. I think there's going to be a bigger thing coming for her eventually.
I want Thanos pick on her, piss her off, for her to unleash her.
House of M, Scarlet Witch.
Man.
But so yeah, and then we that's when we get to see Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive face off against him, and I really like that fight too. That was a really awesome fight scene. What the hell? Never mind that. Anyway, so we get to see
David.
We get to see a big, you know, fight scene between them, and then we get Captain America coming out from the shadows.
Yeah.
Along with Falcon and Black Widow, and that was one of the coolest.
I thought we were gonna. What are you saying? I thought we were gonna stay in touch.
Yeah, that was one of the coolest things though.
Down.
I really liked it.
I was just trying to get some, and you want me to call you? Come on now.
Seeing Cap, you know, really getting into the action with all the other ones, I thought was really cool. And we see Corvus Glaive get pretty injured.
Yeah, and
Proxima Midnight's like, get up.
She got her. He can't. Yeah, I can't. She got her ass handed to him.
Yeah.
Black Widow did awesome.
Yeah.
The way and the team up.
Yes.
The ass whooping, man. They couldn't do anything, and I'm happy.
I'm always into team up moments,
mm-hmm.
especially in these movies.
And I like that
really cool.
that you know you have some like you know a villain being from another galaxy come over and just, you know, of course they just think that they can come to Earth or some other planet and just think they can take over, and then they just get their ass handed to them. That was pretty cool. I loved it.
It was just one of those like you know, retreat and live to fight another day kind of things. Yeah. They got their ass handed to them like big time, and we see them all, I guess, gather back up. I don't even know where. Was it Avengers Mansion or Avengers headquarters?
Yeah, Avengers
because
headquarters.
War Machine was there.
Yeah. And then the stupid Colonel is now Senator.
Yeah.
God dang it!
That guy just keeps moving up the ladder.
Yeah, you know. I mean, how many times did he?
And
mess
then he's
up?
gonna be the president, and then he's gonna turn into Red Hulk. President Red Hulk.
So, yeah, they show his jerk ass, and then War Machine lost a lot of weight. You know, he got like scary skinny, and so they talk, and then you get to see Cap's suit actually in the light. So basically, it's his original. It's his
original suit, just without all the accents.
And like the white is covered in dark, like a dude never took a shower or something. And
I think that was done purposely because all of them all have darker uniforms. Yeah, Black Widow does, besides her bright blonde hair, and Falcon does as well.
Oh, it's dirty. I mean,
and that's because they were, you know, I mean, they're outlaws basically. Yeah. You know, they're trying to hide.
Arrest him. Shut up.
He's like, you're a hologram.
Yeah.
Go away. But yeah, so we see all that, and then they get filled in about Thanos and things like that, and the Infinity Stones, because Banner, and he's telling him like, nah, this dude ain't nothing to mess with.
Most worthless character in the whole movie is just Bruce Banner just running around. No, he's coming.
I really think that there's gonna be a breakout moment though.
Oh yeah, they got to
for the fourth one. I can't wait to see it because it's an interesting aspect to find out why Hulk is being like that. I mean, we know, we get an idea, but for that journey to go on and that revelation to come to Banner himself and realize like, look, dude, like we got to work together. You know, we're in this together. You are me, I am you, kind of thing. I want to see that happen.
They got to do that Predator handshake. You know, that badass one.
And I think that the whole reunion with Cap and Iron Man is going to happen in 4 as well. And I think they were saving it for that moment, like the big
finally,
face off, like I'm sorry kind of thing, or something like that, which is going to be pretty cool. And I still think one of them's going to go in the next one.
I was just thinking that right now, or at the point where maybe one of them's about to bite it, and then the other one comes to save the day. I mean, because nanotechnology can be used, I guess, to heal. So Tony shot himself. He sprayed himself after he got stabbed. After that.
Oh, you ain't got that right.
Yeah, I know. But
yeah, I know.
But yeah, I mean, you know, I'm thinking that, or if it doesn't heal his ass, he's gonna die. He's still dying, one or the other.
We after all that, we get another shot of, I think, with them ending up, Tony and them ending up on Titan. Is that what it is?
Yeah, they took the little trip over there, and they crash landed there. And they're getting ready and setting up an attack scheme to jump on Thanos. And then you have the whole conversation where you know what? This was a good conversation. I saw this in a group.
Okay.
Where they say Star-Lord versus Iron Man, and I mean, because we basically saw Star-Lord manhandle Spider-Man and kind of beat up on Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
So he was like, dude can fight. He can handle himself.
I'm sure he's learned a lot, especially over the years, being on these adventures and things like that. I mean, for God's sakes, he took on a whole planet. And won. So yeah, Star-Lord has the chops to kick some ass. He really does. If he can just get his emotions in check.
Yeah.
But we'll get to that in a moment. So they end up on Titan, and they start devising a plan. Doctor Strange starts tripping out and doing his thing, and then he snaps out of it and explains that he was looking through the multiverse and all the other 14 million options.
14 million
out there to see if there's a possible outcome where they would win. Now, that's not saying like he could do something about it or anything like that. He was just looking into the future. And that's when Tony Stark says, okay, well, how many?
What were our options?
Yeah, and he's like,
what were our odds? 1.
It's like 1. And then that's an interesting aspect because everything going forward, and I caught it right when it happened. And I was like, everything from this point is part of that plan.
Yeah.
That Doctor Strange's, vision that he saw going forward to for them winning at some point.
I saw that too.
Now it's a very like type of plan. But
that's all you got.
Yeah, that's all you got. If you got one chance, I mean,
it's the only chance. There's
it was just like in Civil War though, when Hawkeye had said, hey, some of us aren't gonna make it out of here, kind of thing, and that's basically what we're seeing happen. Everybody's going for broke and not thinking twice.
Yeah.
And on the mention of Hawkeye, they do mention Hawkeye and Ant-Man in the movie, and that was another thing that we never got to see them.
Yeah,
and that was a bummer.
I'm thinking
that was a bummer, but
I think we can talk about Hawkeye right now because since it doesn't come out in the movie, I'm thinking after what happens at the end of this movie is what pisses him off and turns him into Ronin.
And I have a theory on that. is that they said Hawkeye's with his family, and Scott is on house arrest, which we do see in the trailer of Ant-Man and the Wasp. He is on house arrest. The my Hawkeye theory, and I'm sure a lot of people will already agree, is that I think after the events of the ending, he loses his family.
That's what I'm saying.
And then
and then he goes berserk. Yep. It's over. I'm on cap side, back on there. Big Knack 007 says Tony lost his cool in Civil War.
He did. I think he went off, and I think he regrets it now. You see a lot of I don't know. I see remorse, like, man, I shouldn't have done that, kind of thing within him. Tony's gone on this big old story arc himself.
Yeah.
And I think he started out like this a-hole, and then started kind of coming around, and then it's one of those, like, he just had a knee-jerk reaction with Captain America.
Yeah. And
their relationship's broken now. Now it's up to them to come back together and fix it at some point. So that's a dynamic I want to see. See here. Let's go to the chat over here on YouTube. Anthony Aguilar says, my favorite quote is when Tony said, what is your job besides making balloon animals? And Strange says, protecting your reality, douchebag.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. And that's the other thing too. I love the banter between Tony Stark and Doctor Strange, because they're basically the same person.
Almost, man.
They have the same personality. They have the same personality where each of them think that they're the best.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that they're in control. And seeing two of those personalities come head to head.
Better drink that.
I will. Seeing those two personalities come head to head was really, like, interesting to watch. So yeah, that was really cool. Again here, Movie Master Marco said, Star-Lord calling Thanos Grimace and having a testicle chin.
Dude, yeah, when he attacked him with
those. Oh my god, when he called him Grimace, I flipped out. I
was the only one that laughed at that part.
Because nobody remembers Grimace.
No.
From McDonald's.
I even told my wife, I was like, he called him Grimace, man, from McDonald's. And she was like, all right, And all the other parts, the nutsack
I told Monica too, I was like, he called him Grimace. She's like, who's Grimace? I'm like, you are like, we're the same age. Like, come on, you should know Grimace.
Yeah, everything else, everybody laughed. But the Grimace part, I laughed. Ball sack for a chin, yep.
And then Anthony Aguilar again says, this is another Doctor Strange quote. Unlike everybody else, I don't work for you, Stark.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm telling you, same personalities going head to head. I loved it. Yeah, it was really cool. We start to see after that, all that stuff, we see Wakanda. They go to Wakanda.
Yeah.
And that's when we get, that huge battle.
Yeah, that jumped right into that. They get there, everybody's saying,
so I'm telling you, it's
the White Wolf. They show the White Wolf.
It was very little to no slowdown whatsoever.
And he knew that it was there was going to be a fight, like, because they brought him the arm.
What's up? Who do I have to kill?
Yeah. He was like this, Wakanda,
Wakanda forever
for one arm. And
he goes,
as soon as they showed him the arm, he was like, when? And they're like, now. He's like, oh damn.
I loved it, man. I love that whole fight.
His suit.
Fight scene. Yeah.
They gave him like his Bucky Barnes suit.
His old school Bucky Barnes suit.
I
thought it was a cool little play on that. You know what I mean? Like a modern version of that.
Updated. It would look pretty cool. So then,
Bombay. Yeah.
Bombay.
And then that's the other thing too. We see Black Panther suit up, and we see all the troops, man, in Wakanda, and they start chanting, and it was just like, wow, that's a really cool moment.
It's about to happen, man.
Bombay, I believe is translated as like stay strong or something, or like lead fast or something.
I'm happy you said that, because I was wondering that.
Yeah. So I thought that was really cool, and then we get to see M'Baku, which is the other dude from the gorilla tribe.
Yeah.
And I thought him being there was really cool too, because I'm like, okay, they're like really bringing every aspect of all these worlds together. And you see his troops and all that stuff, and that's when shit hits the fans, guys.
Yeah, shit hits the fans really bad.
Yeah, and then the thing with these creatures, and I forgot what they're called. They were running at the force field, Wakanda's force field, basically like zombies, in like ants, where like they had no care who they're stepping over when they got to the thing. They were trying to break through, like use all their force to break through. If somebody's getting burned or cut up, they're using that opening to fit through, and eventually they had to. This was very smart battle plan, I thought, because it is a dome. Black Panther was saying, well, eventually, he was conversing. He's like, eventually they're gonna start spreading, and then start going around. We can't let that happen. We need a central opening point. Open up the panel right there.
Yeah, 17, section 17, and I liked how it was just that one area. It
was a pretty thin, opening.
I mean, if you think about it, there were so many of those damn things that the energy was being used to tear apart to kill these certain ones, and then not enough energy was being used on a certain one that was pushing through. So maybe that's why one got through.
Exactly. It was weakening the shield in other spots.
Enough, for them to come through, and so then they start picking them off one by one. But then how boring would that be? So let's amp it up. Bam. Let's make it. Have you open one section, and then man, they were just like
they were just coming in droves, dude.
Yes,
like ants. It looked like
they were coming and coming. So then now we have our battle.
Yes,
and
including Banner and Hulkbuster.
Mm-hmm. So who told me? They go, why didn't they just give him Spider-Man? Why didn't they give Cap like his regular shield back? Like I don't know.
They could have made him a new shield.
Yeah,
right. But they didn't have time for that. He just showed up, and they were like, just get him a shield.
Yeah. And get this man a shield.
Matt, my son, man, he is like, I don't say he ruined the line for me, but every time I hear that line, I always want to laugh because he leading up to Infinity War, he was repeating that line like nobody's business.
And I love the shield thing, because it had points to it. So when Cap went, I love that. Black Panther and Cap hauled ass into battle.
Because they're the super soldiers.
They're super soldiers, yeah.
Well, Bucky is too. He could probably run.
Bucky
he's like,
I got a gun.
Hey man, y'all just do your thing.
They should have put Bucky in that crowd. But he goes in there and he's just tearing. He's
And I love the way he's using it because it does have a point. Each one has a point. So he was literally like stabbing and bashing and hacking. Yeah. That was so cool. I do think though, again, they gave him a shield initially. I do think he's gonna get his proper shield back in the next one. It's gonna probably. I still think that it's gonna be those two put together to make that his like old classic one.
I looked at them and I put them together.
Yeah.
And it's like a double. It's like a double classic. It's like.
It's like two
of them. There's a big one, and then it looks just like the classic one. It just looks like there's a smaller one in the middle.
I would like to see something like that, or screw it, just give him back his regular shield again.
Or like Tony shows up and he's like, Cap, here, and he's like,
throws in the shield,
and then like he
catches it. Your dad made this.
Well, I'm telling you, or he throws it, he catches it, and then Thanos goes to punch, and then him and then the freaking glove just shatters or something.
Oh, that would be interesting. I would love to see something like that happen. That would be a cool, awesome moment. You know what I mean?
All the stones go everywhere, and everybody get the stones. All these damn
Fumbarooski.
Butterfingers. So we have this big ass fight, and then I think at this point, then that's when Thor's trying to put. Man, dude, that whole dwarf scene I could not stop laughing. Me and Jay.
Because there was kind of rumors going in that Peter Dinklage has been known to be like he was going to be in the movie.
Yeah.
Nobody knew what character he was going to be. People thought, and I did too at one point, thought he was voicing Corvus Glaive.
Okay.
Right? That he was just going to do a voice. And then somebody said, "Oh no, we saw him coloring his hair red." And then they're like, "Oh, he could be this character," and it's like an elf character in Marvel.
Yeah.
But I want to say this elf character, he was a small elf. Seeing him so big like that, I was like, "Oh my god!"
More hands.
But I thought it was an interesting character for him to play because his hands were molten in metal. And he basically told the story that Thanos showed up there, was threatening to kill all his people, if he didn't make him the gauntlet.
Yeah.
Something to hold the Infinity Stones. So he came up with the gauntlet, and then he said something along the lines of like,
me.
Your hands are mine.
Yeah.
So he's like, so they're nobody else's. So he wrapped them, he stuck them in metal, and then still killed all of his people.
Yeah.
And left him there.
That was his. That was his death. I
yeah,
guess.
Basically.
His punishment.
And everything froze in that place.
The star closed and everything. And I thought when they started to, I guess we can start jumping a little bit here because when they started to move along and trying to get the new hammer done and everything, I thought for some reason, I don't know why, I was thinking when Thor went to hold the gate open to bring the heat in from the star, for some reason I thought it was going to age him. I kept thinking, or maybe it was going to make him old.
You're going to look like Odin?
Yeah, I thought he was going to, maybe they were going to save that. Like later on, and then the whole new eye thing.
Yeah.
He had a brown eye.
How crazy was that? Okay, we just got Thor's eye busted out of his head, and he had this cool eye patch on, and all of a sudden they just retcon that and be like, nope, not today. We're gonna give him a new eye.
There you go, Raccoon. Yeah, Rocket Raccoon gave him an eye.
And that was the cool thing, was that eye was from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, the eye that he stole from the Ravagers place.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a cool little callback as well.
What does this say?
So did you notice 17 was mentioned twice when Tony launches the Iron Spider suit to Peter, and T'Challa opens the barrier in Wakanda? Yes, we were just talking about that. You said Section 17.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I wonder what that's about.
I don't know.
I wonder if it has to do with like issue number or something, or
I don't know.
So, sometimes they do that. They'll like throw numbers in there.
Yeah.
Because it's referencing like a certain issue number to a comic. So it's possible. Maybe like Black Panther number 17 had to do something with their barrier or something like that.
So we get the whole battle scene, I guess. On they wait.
Oh wait, no, we get Stormbreaker. When they make Stormbreaker. Yes. Stormbreaker was pretty awesome. I was excited for Stormbreaker.
Wakanda's getting taken over. We're getting overwhelmed.
Stormbreaker is the hammer or axe for Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to see it on screen like that, and then Groot makes the handle. They're like, we need where's it? Get the handle.
That's when you start to see Groot starting to kind of snap out of his teenager crap.
And Groot creates the handle for Stormbreaker, and then chops off his arm.
Yeah, he chops his arm off. And Entertainment Earth ruined that for me. Now, I remember on, I think, IGN, they were talking about there's talks about a new hammer. We're not certain that Thor's going to get a new hammer, but they're supposed to make this replica hammer for us to have or whatever. They're going to sell it in the stores.
Yeah.
And so they weren't 100% sure on it. So they were just saying, there's a possibility or whatever. And the day before I watched the movie, Entertainment Earth said, hey, Thor's new toy he plays around with in the movie. He's like, pre-order it here. And I saw that because I pre-ordered a lot of my stuff. I saw it pissed me off.
I had seen it weeks before.
So that was one thing I was like,
I had seen it weeks before because Toys R Us, they were putting out all the Avengers toys.
Yeah. And
one of them was like a small Stormbreaker. I'm like, oh, he's getting Stormbreaker? Damn it, I know what it is already now.
But that was really cool.
Yeah, it was
He
cool.
comes, how did they get, because you remember they say that there's a possibility that there was foretold that the hammer can be used as a gateway. What's it called?
You can use the Rainbow Bridge. I forgot what it's called. But yeah, that bridge, and
he
teleport.
And bam, so he shows up, Rocket, Groot, and it starts getting awesome.
That was the one thing I was like, damn, this is gonna be pretty cool.
Seeing the team
up.
Oh my
god! Like he just like slammed that hammer to the ground and
boom,
just bunches of everything. Yeah, that was so cool.
Rocket and Bucky.
That's a good team right there. I love that dynamic of Bucky and Rocket. He's like, how much for the arm?
Yeah, how much for that gun? It's like, and when he picked him up, there was no complaint. It was like, I know what you're doing, and then they both they're spinning and they're shooting.
That was another moment that was like Rocket and Groot.
Yeah,
in really the first Guardians. So I love that. Yes, that was so awesome. And then right at the end, Rocket is like, I'm gonna get that arm. He's like, I'm gonna get that arm.
What
is it with him and like getting body parts from places?
Well, I mean, it worked out. He's like,
I know.
What are they called? People who they're buy, sell, and trade. They're called barters. Barter. He's like a barter.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it worked out for Thor.
All the things pretty much came in handy as well. Yeah. But
so it's like he's like Link, and he's just like, I'll put it in my bag. I need it later on, right? What's this? Says Big Nack says Target had a Thor figure. Bifrost. Thank you,
Alexis.
Target had the Thor figure with a Stormbreaker, and it had an eye on the.
Oh really? Oh yeah. You know what? Yes. I noticed that there was a figure that
it had the eye.
Thor had both eyes, and I was like, "What's with that?"
He had the Mexican eye, and then the.
I didn't really like think about it. Where like, oh, Thor's gonna get his eye back.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I did notice that.
Now, I knew that he was getting his eye back, but I didn't know how.
Yeah.
I figured they were gonna do something with the stone.
I kind of really wish that they would have kept the eye patch though. He looked cooler like that, and he started looking like Odin.
Yeah.
You know. But they literally happened in one movie. They took it back in the next one.
It could go, it could change back when they use the time stone.
Re-stab him in the eye.
Yeah, re-stab him in the eye. Yeah, something. He can get shot and
Thanos comes with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, and think about it, just sort of. I kept waiting for that.
That was pretty funny.
I was waiting for it to, like, if he was having a serious ass conversation and it just started
like googly and stuff.
And they can't take him serious.
Yeah, and then that whole. Then we also see the fight on Titan.
Yeah.
Where Thanos goes there, and he starts fighting Iron Man and Spider-Man and Doctor Strange and Star-Lord's there. Drax is there too, I believe. Mantis. That's it, right?
Yeah. Basically, not many.
Oh wait, man, we totally skipped over this one part where Thanos takes Gamora.
Oh,
to
the stone,
that one place to get the was it the Soul Stone?
Soul Stone, yeah.
It is the Soul Stone.
To me, it was almost the coolest part of the whole movie.
It was, and they're climbing this mountain, going up, and then this hooded figure comes out of nowhere, and I'm like, who's this? It almost looked very much likely, or very much like
a wraith,
like Death. From the comics.
I thought you were gonna say from Lord of the Rings.
No, like Death from the comics. In the comics, Thanos is known to wanting to court Death and he's in love with Death. So having that in there was really interesting. I was like, oh my god, like is that I thought it was Death, but it was a man's voice coming out of it. I was like, that's weird. Hooded figure pulls back the hood and it's freaking Red Skull.
Yeah.
Me and my son just went and everybody else was like silent.
Who's that?
And I was like, oh my god.
I was
me and Matthew were just like, oh my god, it's Red Skull.
I loved that. I loved it.
This is what I've been wanting for so many years. I wanted closure to Red Skull because it was very apparent that he didn't die. He didn't disintegrate. He got shot up somewhere. And I was like, for all these years, I was like, he's not dead. He's not dead. He's somewhere. He's not dead.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that they really closed that loop there, you know.
Oh yeah.
And basically, he ended up becoming. He explained that he wasn't worthy of holding the Tesseract.
Yeah.
That stone, so they made him the guardian of the Soul Stone.
Yeah.
I guess as a punishment, and he was there on that planet, just there by himself.
He was just there. I mean, it's not like he could achieve the damn stone because he didn't love anybody.
Yeah.
Or if he even had love for anybody, they weren't there with him.
And then that was the other thing that he explained to Thanos was that in order to get the Soul Stone, you have to give up. It's basically a soul for a soul.
Yeah.
You know, you have to give up something that you adore, that you love so much. And Gamora's like, you don't love nothing. You stupid.
Yeah, and I was like, man, come on.
And he was like,
I knew where this shit was going.
I know. And he turns around. Come with me.
Yeah.
He just like starts grabbing her.
I was like,
no. And chunks her off the side of the cliff.
Yeah.
Gamora's dead. That was like, whoa, hold on. You know, honestly I was a little taken aback by that because I'm like, oh shit, like, damn, they did that.
Yeah.
You know?
I was kind of happy.
I like Gamora.
I like her. Don't get me wrong. I like her, but I was like, whatever. Because she was too much crying. So we're not into this right now, okay? It's got to be ass whooping time.
As soon as that happened, basically we saw like a montage of all these things, and then he's in the water.
Yeah.
You know, and he ends up with the Soul Stone, puts it on the damn thing, and then that's when the fight happens on Titan.
It's on.
And okay, so who was involved in there?
And what, the Titan fight?
Yeah. What was it?
In the Titan fight, Strange, Spider-Man, Mantis, Drax, Star-Lord, Iron Man, and
Big Mac says, "Don't throw John David. I love you. I'm throwing out the clip."
Man, and then I die and no stone comes out.
I'm like, well, damn.
I would come back to life. I'd be all pissed and stuff. So that happens. They have a really good strategy and very pointed out by Star-Lord.
Because that was his plan.
That was his plan. So they actually went with it. So Tony actually just, whatever, let's do it.
Yeah.
That was a damn good plan. But it didn't follow through.
That whole fight scene was really, really good.
It was like very close.
Again, it was another instance of them working together.
Yeah.
And you see Doctor Strange making these portals and Spider-Man jumping in and out of them.
That was cool.
Whipping on Thanos.
That kind of reminded me.
Shot Thanos in the eye with his webs.
Yeah. It reminded me of Marvel vs. Capcom 2 when he does his Infinity Web or whatever.
Yeah, Infinity.
And he was just... I love that. That was really cool. And what he kept saying, wizard stuff. And he was...
Yeah.
That was funny, you know. Again,
Spider-Man, yeah.
You know, it's getting your ass whooped and making jokes.
Again, even in this movie with so many characters, they still manage to feel very grounded, very much like themselves, you know?
Yeah.
And Spider-Man is totally Spider-Man.
Yeah. And you see Tony's suit, like the full potential of the suit.
Yes.
There's
that's where we really got to see it.
Yes. I mean, it was just so cool. And they kind of knew for when he had the stone, they were trying to prevent him from closing his fist. Apparently, he just can't, you know, just because he has a glove on, he can't just power it and make it.
When he, you know, makes that fist,
he has to clench the fist and then
pops the power,
and then use the power of one of the Infinity Stones. So they knew this, and you know, and they did all they could to keep his hand open, and they were whooping his ass, man. And the plan was they had him tied down. Mantis jumps on top of him. She subdued him, and he couldn't move. And then get the glove off.
Yes,
they're getting the glove off, and they start to. Well, they're trying to, and they were having problems. And Mantis starts to say, she mourns.
Yeah, well, she's messing with it. She's doing the head thing, and his eyes roll back like Undertaker.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. And he's like, she's basically controlling him, stopping him from you know, really, you know, waking up or whatever. And that's when Star-Lord comes in, flies in, and is like, "Where's Gamora?" And he's like, "My Gamora." He's like, "Bullshit." Where is she? I thought that was funny. Bullshit. He's like, "Where is she?" And then that's when Mantis says, you know, "Oh no, he grieves," or something like that. He mourns. And then Star-Lord's like, "Where is she? Like, where's Gamora?" He starts going serious.
Nebula shows up.
Yeah, and then basically kind of confirms, like, yeah, like, you know,
he's here with the Soul
Stone.
So if he's here with the Soul
Stone,
and
Gamora's not here,
and she's not here, so then he goes AWOL. You know, Tony's you can, like we said about the suit. He's going he's using the suit to its full potential, but to hold him down and he anchored himself down on the ground to hold him, because this is how hard it was. Spider-Man had him webbed up. Doctor Strange, I think, had him tied up too, right? With all them, like, he had all these like whips on him and everything. So they were trying their hardest to hold this dude down.
Everybody was like doing their job and putting effort in.
And you got stupid Star-Lord, you know, sitting there, free hands and everything,
Star-Lord,
talking smack.
I know, he's talking smack to him and all this stuff. And he, you know, when he finds out that Gamora is dead, goes off and just starts punching Thanos in the face, which Mantis has her hands on him
head,
and knocks her free. And this is in that one moment show how close we were. So
he had
we were like right here.
Yeah, his hand was already out, and then when Mantis lost her grip, he came to, and then you see his fingers
immediately went right back in the gauntlet and knocked everybody silly.
He grabs it and then puts his arm back in, and then collects himself, knocks everyone, beats the hell out of Iron Man.
When that happened, I was like, no,
yeah.
No. It's hard for me to say that because I love all the Guardians.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to punch Star-Lord in the face.
Yeah, I think everybody does right now.
He really ruined it, and to me, when a movie moment like that can pull a reaction like that out of me, that damn movie did its job.
They did their job.
And I think, especially going into Guardians 3 eventually, I think we're gonna see a lot of like. I messed up.
Yeah. From
Star-Lord. And that's going to be interesting to see on his end.
Somebody's going to have to walk up to him and do a Nelson to him. Just like,
something. Drax.
Somebody's going to
like 5 minutes. Oh.
That's from Buffy.
Yeah, it is from Buffy. It is from Buffy.
Was that actually Pee Wee Herman?
Yeah, it was Pee Wee Herman.
Okay, right.
Paul Rubens.
And so there's that big old mess up.
Yeah.
And then now
that was a huge mess up.
And you see Iron Man go toe to toe with Thanos, and this makes me think, Jesus Christ, with the way Iron Man is now, if he would go toe to toe with Cap.
I know.
I think he'd probably whoop his ass now.
He would probably kill Cap.
Yeah, he'd probably kill. I mean, because Jesus Christ, he
literally went toe to toe, hit for hit with Thanos. They kept up with each other for a good while.
When his mask got ripped off, I was like, oh crap, his face, and then it came right back, another one, and I was like, okay.
I literally thought they were gonna rip it off and went popped him right in the mouth. Yeah,
it would have been all messed up. And you can see, he's trying to defend himself and everything, and he pulls out this badass blade, right? It almost looked like the Power Sword from the Power Ranger movies, because it had a blade, and he gets it. And then that gets ripped off.
Power sword.
That gets ripped off. Yeah. Thanos, he basically has a good hold of Iron Man, and then he just fucking
shoves it
rams it right through, and then it went freaking quiet in the room.
Yeah, because even me, I was like,
I heard somebody go, "Oh no!" It's like,
"Oh no!" I literally thought at that moment, I was like, "Damn!"
Even
doing it. They're
Tony's face was like.
Oh yeah!
Holy crap!
This is happening. And to a certain extent, Tony never really loses, not like that. Yeah. Like Tony's never really been injured like that.
And then the conversation before the ass whooping was Tony Stark, and he was like, "Thanos," huh? And he goes, "Tony's." He's like, it blew my mind.
He's like, "You know me?
You know me?"
He's like, "You're not the only one that's cursed with knowledge," which leads me to believe and leads me to this question here that Aaron had.
Aaron
to say, oh man, I think I lost it. Hold on.
It's probably way up at the top.
Aaron says, he pretty much, I think. Oh, it says they don't show the Soul Stone's power in this movie, do they? They do, for two different reasons. I think that remark was made because that Soul Stone opened his mind up to everything in the universe.
So he knows.
To all souls, everybody. If he comes up to somebody he's never seen before, I already know you.
Yeah, I already know
you. That kind of thing.
I thought it went to the point where I guess like Thanos isn't stupid.
I guess either that or he knows the guy that went up the wormhole in Avengers 1 and blew up all of his
that
ships.
Too. Yeah, that too. Or is just like any other smart person, they're gonna know who they're dealing with. Yeah. If you're going to Earth. Who are your threats,
And the other way the Soul Stone was used was when Doctor Strange made all those duplicates of himself. Thanos knew exactly which one to go after.
Yeah, poof, and then everything else evaporated, and then that was
so on. That's the Soul Stone's use, in there as well.
There's
two different versions of use of the Soul Stone. So yeah, and then so we have him.
Tony's hurt, he's down, and then Thanos says. He tells Doctor Strange, "Give me the stone, or I kill him." Mm-hmm. And then Strange is like, "Okay." He's like, "No, I think he was just gonna kill him." And then Strange breaks the deal. He's like, "I'll give you the stone, don't kill him."
Yeah, spare his life.
Yeah, and then it's and my wife said this. Why the hell did he just kill me? He said earlier that he was gonna let you die and then not give him the stone.
But if you think about it, yep, there was only one option that he had, and that was it. Whatever he saw included him getting the Soul Stone, included everything else that happened in order for them to end up winning in some way. So this is all still going according to plan. Now, again, it's really interesting for the people that didn't get it right away, because they're like, wait, what? Like, hold on.
¿Qué pasó?
Because throughout the whole movie, Doctor Strange and Tony Stark, they're not friends. They're butting heads the whole way. So why all of a sudden would Doctor Strange give his stone, for Tony's life?
And he's supposed to be guarding it.
And it's kind of apparent at that point, like, okay, this is part of the plan.
Yeah.
And that's why...
And what's weird is that Tony doesn't even snap to it.
Yeah. He takes that stone. I love the way that they do that whole moment where they put it in and it clicks. And then you just see him go, and then, like, the power comes out. And I love that. And then he just takes off.
He takes off. Yeah, he just... Dad opens over.
Right, see ya.
Yeah, so he goes back. Wakanda's being... they're whooping ass everywhere in Wakanda. Even with Thor and Groot and Rocket, they're helping. The fight's getting a little hairy there, and I think those monsters start to retreat back to their spaceships.
Yeah, a little bit.
And they start to destroy the spaceships. And at this time, the main villains,
the Black Order,
they go after the Mind Stone, and so now Vision's on the run. They're trying to protect Vision.
We failed to mention that Vision is in Wakanda.
Yeah, Black Panther's sister is trying to remove the stone. She fails to do that. So Vision is now getting his butt kicked, and he's in the woods now. And at this point, where he's in the woods and they're trying to protect them and everything, Thanos is on the way. Thanos is coming, and Vision starts to tell her, "You need to destroy the stone.
Yeah.
It's it. It's over. Get rid of it now."
She's like, no.
So then
he's like, "No, you got to."
He shows up, and it's just like no contest.
I know,
everybody coming at him.
But before that, we do get some good moments with the children of Thanos, like with the Hulkbuster and Cole Obsidian.
God, that was.
I really like that fight, but I don't.
Crazy, man.
I'm not a huge fan of that Cole Obsidian guy.
The big guy?
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. It was a great fight though. I loved it. I loved, again, Hulkbuster being there. With Banner and Hulkbuster, him being very clunky with it because he doesn't really know. He's not used to. It's like Hulk, but without being Hulk, that kind of thing.
And he did a couple of references. The whole arm.
Yeah.
Remember when he grabbed him?
Oh,
Hulkbuster grabbed Hulk and then launched him. And he did the same thing to the dude.
That was pretty cool. And we at this point we get the children of Thanos kind of getting taken out pretty quickly at this point, and that's when you kind of know, like, okay, it's coming to a close at some point. I love the children of Thanos just because they felt like real threats throughout the whole movie.
Good threats.
They weren't just like throwaway characters. And who knows? At this point, it's up in the air. They could come back.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. They've been resurrected before in the comics. They've been killed and then resurrected again. So there's a good chance that we'll see them again. I love Ebony Maw. Yeah. I think he was my favorite out of all of them. Corvus Glaive was great as well in Proxima Midnight. Cole Obsidian,
what's his name? Corvus Glaive.
Yeah,
he stood out to me a lot. But I love Squidward. I liked him a lot. I liked him a lot.
Yeah,
I liked him a lot. But the other one stood out to me a lot because he looked like this crazy evil ass elf.
Yeah.
The chick was she reminded me of Angela.
Yes, she did.
She looked like Angela. I kept thinking Angela, but she looked so cool, man. Yeah. They lied about Corvus being dead.
Yeah.
Oh, damn liars. But anyways, so Thor shows up.
Thanos. Yeah.
Thanos shows up. He goes straight for the Mind Stone.
Yes.
And at this point, everybody's protecting. They're trying to slow him down while Scarlet Witch destroys the stone. And they had a quick conversation, and she's
very reluctant to, but she starts going at it.
Yeah.
And putting all of her power because she's seeing Thanos is right there. The dude's coming. And these Avengers at this point they're no match for him.
No.
They keep getting knocked out and knocked aside and all this stuff.
Did War Machine get crushed? Did he just
War Machine? Yeah. Thanos basically crunched War Machine within his suit.
Yeah,
like,
he just went down.
I was like, oh shit!
And Bucky was just, he was just slapped.
Cap got flipped, the other way and all that stuff.
Else?
Black Panther. I don't know why this was so funny to me. Black Panther jumped at him. He grabbed him by the throat and went like this and pushed him into the ground. To me, I don't know why that it looked like it hurt.
And he
I was like,
bounced.
oh my god.
And anyways, everybody's getting tore up. He finally gets there, and she shatters a stone, and then
what's his name? Vision blows up and all that stuff.
Exploded, man.
Yeah.
He blew up, and so Thanos is just so chill. He's just like, oh man, that's horrible.
Man,
like,
it sucks.
Bro. It takes a lot, for you to kill somebody you love. I know, because it killed my daughter.
You know?
And then he's just like,
then it was like, little girl, like,
yeah,
I'm sorry, like he like patting her on the head,
and then he freaking just, oh
man, when that moment happened and he was so chill about it, I'm like, he's gonna reverse time, damn it, and literally he reversed time, moved her aside, grabbed the stone. Vision, if you notice, Vision turned completely like black and white, like pale, and he did that in the comics. Vision has turned completely white in the comics before, when his I think his stone, or not, he doesn't have a stone, but whenever part of his power went away or something like that.
So that's why he turned white in the comics.
He was like drained of everything, and he became more like robotic. Like he wasn't himself. He didn't have humanity in him anymore. So that's interesting to see if something like that's going to happen. Moving forward, because they did kind of make it a point to say, look, you can survive without that stone.
Yeah.
This is you've developed. You're a part of me. You're a part of Stark. You're part of Ultron in a way. So you've been able to flourish and make your own decisions, make your own choices.
It kind of reminded me of the Guyver. Remember?
Kind of, yeah.
Because when he pulled that stone out, I mean, the damn thing, it had nerves.
Orb thing, yeah.
And when he pulled the stone out, I mean, and he dented his whole skull.
Yeah. When it literally, it looked like he was going to be able to just pull out the stone, and he just goes, and he just goes, and busts his whole head. I was like, dang.
He had a divot.
Oh, what if he ends up like with the dent the whole time in the other movies?
Or they put a horn in it just to cover it up.
Rhinos.
Bears. Rhinos. But so that happens, right? And then as soon as he puts it on the glove.
Yeah.
And then you hear, what would he say? I told you would die, or no. Something, you hear something, and here comes Thor.
Yeah.
And then
Thor comes down and just lands Stormbreaker right in his chest.
And then
takes Thanos down to a knee, and then he pushes in it
further.
And I'm like, oh my god, this is cool. And then you hear Thanos kind of like talking, like,
I gotta do this. I can't do the snap, but
he's like, you should have gone for the head, and then snaps. And in that moment, and after that snap, you hear, no!
Yeah.
And then it just goes dark. I was like,
it went dark.
Oh my god. Like, literally, my jaw was on the floor like, they freaking did it. Oh my god.
Me too. I couldn't believe that they did.
Now,
especially that quick.
Before we go forward, the one thing that I will say that I didn't expect was that I didn't expect that Thanos was going to end up with all the stones. I literally thought that they were going to save the last stone for Avengers 4.
And in the trailers, they only showed
a couple
certain stones, and different times and everything. So it made you believe that he wasn't going to have everything.
And with every stone that he got, I was like, okay, he got one more. Okay, he got another, but they're not going to give him all of them. Then the next one happened. I was like, wait, this ain't going to happen, right? And then he got the last one. I was like, holy crap! And then that's when he snapped. And I was like, oh my god! Like, I just couldn't believe that they actually did it and gave him all the stones.
Yeah.
So that was like, whoa, hold on. And then after that, we see him in this area, red area or orangey area.
The glove. When he did it, the glove damaged.
Yeah. You see him come back, actually, yeah, and then the glove is just completely like fried and messed up. The stones are still intact. And everybody's like, Cap goes, Thor, what did he do? What did he do? Like, everybody's freaking out.
Yeah.
And he pulls himself through a portal, and then that's it, he's gone. And everybody's looking around like, what happened? What's going on? and we slowly start to see one by one everybody just fade away.
Yeah.
And turn into ash.
We see not everybody.
Well, a whole lot of people. We'll go through a bunch of them.
A lot.
We saw Bucky.
Bucky was the first.
We saw Black Panther.
Panther went.
We saw Groot. We saw a lot of the Wakandan troops. Who else? We saw Falcon.
Falcon went. Yeah.
Falcon went. Who else was there?
Stupid Star-Lord.
Star-Lord. They went back to Titan. They show Mantis, Drax, Star-Lord. All fade away, and then we saw Doctor Strange. He said we're in the end game.
We're in the end game.
And we see Doctor Strange fade away, and then the last one, Peter walks up.
Yeah.
And he's like, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good.
Yeah.
And he starts kind of like falling over, hugs onto to Stark, and starts saying, I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
Yeah. And it's so classic because the way they in Homecoming, and people made fun of it. They're like, he could, his daddy, whatever. And it's very much like a father and son,
Yes, very much so. And that dynamic was it was there the whole time. You feel it in them talking to each other. And then to see that happen, I ain't gonna lie, my eyes started to sweat just a little bit.
Everybody cried. I didn't cry.
And I was just like, oh my God. And it reminded me a lot of, there's a Doctor Who episode. And no, I'm serious, because I want to say that they pulled it straight from that. There's some sort of connection there, because there's one episode, I can't remember which season it is, but the actor's name is David Tennant. Look for David Tennant, Doctor Who Regeneration, and you'll get what I'm saying.
Oh, you told me this.
And there's a moment where he gets mortally injured, and in Doctor Who, when a doctor gets mortally injured, he regenerates to a new doctor. And he was one of my favorite doctors. It was one of my favorite seasons of all time. And right before he regenerates, he knows it's coming, and he realizes, he's like, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
And then he starts regenerating.
Yeah.
That was one of the saddest moments I've ever seen.
I remember you.
And I think that was pulled directly, like inspiration from that moment, because how else are you gonna pull on somebody's heartstrings?
Yeah.
But without a character saying like, I'm leaving. I know I'm leaving. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Like, he's scared, And I think the whole him feeling not feeling so good, I think he was in spider sense, like going way off. And warning him like something's happening.
And this is a good push for Tony, man. This is this is gonna this can make somebody do something. This is hurting him. He didn't want him there. Now he's there, and then he's gonna feel responsible. So he's gonna do
feel
something.
Totally responsible.
He's gonna do something, I think, really drastic, something to make up for that.
There is a moment in Spider-Man: Homecoming where he has that heart-to-heart with him.
Yeah.
And he's like, "You can't go around doing this." He's like, because if you die, that's on me.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
And it's on him.
And it's on him.
And
and as soon as it happened, I was like, man, you gotta explain it to me to Aunt May.
Aunt May, yeah. So think about it. You know what I heard too? That Tony's he didn't do his lines. That he totally he ad-libbed that whole part.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Robert Downey Jr. He's very good at doing that.
Yeah.
And they had to step it up and play off of stuff like that.
And it was it was really heartwarming, man. It sucked. It was really real sad.
That was just one of the saddest moments.
They show people in the streets going and stuff like that. Now this leads me to this, right? And it's pretty cool. If you go to didthanoskillme.com, you can find out if you died. Okay,
or if you were spared by Thanos.
If you were spared, yeah, I died.
You died?
I died.
I should check it.
Check it out. Soon. I mean, and it's real quick. All you do is you put didthanoskillme.com, and right when it goes to it, it says you were slain. I was like, oh man. There's no buttons to click on it. It just tells you immediately,
it just pops up.
You're dead. It's a white screen, and it's just in black letters. You're dead. I know a couple people that were spared, so I was like, you're lucky.
Yeah. So after that, I mean, we really get the whole picture. Like, oh crap! Like everybody's gone.
Yeah.
Now the one thing you do notice is that all the original Avengers, including a couple of extra people, are there, still left alive. Rocket's still alive.
Yeah.
Okoye, I believe, is still alive. I'm sure Black Panther's sister still alive, and there's others, but the main Avengers are still there.
Yeah.
Everybody else is gone. Now, we're not stupid. We know that there's going to be a Black Panther 2, and there's going to be a Spider-Man Homecoming 2.
Yeah.
So these characters have to come back, but do they really? Like, honestly, they could hold off.
What if Spider-Man comes back and it's Andrew Garfield? They're like, no, it's the wrong one. It's not
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire.
But
back.
This is a question I wanted to pose to everybody. Was that, do they really have to bring them back? Because these characters have been portrayed by other people at some point. There has been Black Panther's sister became Black Panther.
Oh yeah.
At one point. And then Spider-Man. Everybody's been wanting Miles Morales.
That's not gonna happen. I'm sorry.
I think it is gonna happen at some point. It maybe not now. Who knows?
I think like in 2099.
What I think would be a really cool, interesting aspect is that if their next movies kind of flash forward a couple of years, and they're like, these people have been gone.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's been gone for a couple of years.
Hey,
they come back and Miles Morales, or they come back to find out. Peter comes back to find out that Miles Morales has been Spider-Man for a while, kind of filling in, and they kind of meet up like, okay, well, all right, I'm here, so go to Houston.
Thanos.
Go to Thanos. Or something along that lines with Black Panther as well, like his sister taking the role of Black Panther for a couple of years, and then he comes back, like all of a sudden something gets reversed, he comes back somehow, and it's like, what happened? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
That would be, I think, a really cool, interesting twist to a story, to make their deaths like feel, I guess, significant.
Yeah.
So where it's not like we go to Avengers 4 and it's like, oh, we reversed it all.
But who was I talking to? Somebody was telling me that they're technically they're not dead.
Well,
they're stuck in the Soul Stone.
That's kind of, again, it's one of those things we don't know.
Well,
we don't know. When we saw the ending, we saw Thanos in that orangey spot or whatever. We saw a little kid Gamora.
Yeah,
that is the Soul Stone. I found out. The Russo brothers confirmed that area, that dimension or whatever, is inside the Soul Stone.
Oh, okay.
So, we saw her die.
Yeah. She
didn't fade away. Like these other people did. So
what if she died twice? What if like her body just disintegrated? And like, oh man,
who knows though? I mean, they could be trapped in some sort of pocket dimension, which has happened before in the comics.
So destroy the stone. So that's blam.
What if you destroy the stone and they're like, oh, we can't get them out now. We can't get them out now.
Put it all back together. So after Thanos snaps his finger, he takes off back home.
Big Nag said he was spared by Thanos.
Hey, what about you? Were spared? Damn. See if anybody else has responded on the...
Anthony Aguilar says I was slain.
All right, Anthony. We're in the same group, dude.
Movie Master Marco says I was spared.
What?
Yep.
Man, I think a lot of people died because a lot of... Okay. Damn. Because I've shared this in groups, man, and a lot of people die. So you're lucky if you get spared,
But yeah, so it's an interesting thing to think about. Like, okay, and then my other theory was that, okay, yes, all these people like faded away and disintegrated, but and even if they do like reverse it, you know what I mean? What if not everybody comes back? What if not everybody's able to come back? You know what I mean? So yeah, okay, maybe say Peter Parker comes back, Black Panther comes back, say somebody like Bucky comes back,
just his arm.
But what if what if Groot doesn't come back?
Yeah.
Or what if
Groot will come back?
I have a theory on that as well, Stormbreaker is made from Groot. Who's to say Thor can't bust a piece off and replant it? So
a little leaf.
So that's a possibility. But like other people, like what if Star-Lord doesn't come back? What if Drax doesn't come back? They are supposed to make another Guardians. Yeah. So that's kind of like, oh well, it's a no-brainer. They're gonna come back.
Yeah.
But you don't know. We don't know that for sure. There was also talk that the Guardians, this was gonna be the last like Guardians movie with this team.
They were supposed to revamp the team and get new
who
players.
knows? We may see
fighters.
We may see Starhawk coming, Sylvester Stallone,
Load.
and the original Guardians coming to kind of take up the mantle while maybe while everybody's gone.
Now,
you know?
At the end when they show Thanos, is he still hurt? I mean, because he sits there. Because I was talking to Six about it. Six though, and he was saying that when he was sitting there, he had his hand on his chest, like he was tired, and he was sitting there.
He may be tired, he may be injured or whatever, but he's content. He's like, I did what I did.
Yeah.
And now it's time for me to rest.
And you know what?
They do that in the comics, in the Infinity Gauntlet comic. That's exactly the same panel. That's how it ends, with him sitting there on his farm, in his pajamas, and he smiles, and that's it. You know, and there was a lot of theories that I heard. I heard a theory, and this is interesting. I was like, what if Thanos is they had told Thanos in the movie, you'll never be a god. You know, but he's kind of acting like one to a certain extent because he's recreating the Earth in his image, like the way he wants it to be.
Universe.
And what if, you know, it's all this is signifying like the 6 days it took for God to create the Earth. No, seriously. And on the seventh day, he rested. Yeah. You know, each stone. How many stones are there? 6. You know.
And in section 17.
That doesn't make no sense. But he's now at the end. He's resting. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's possible that's kind of looked at like that as well. I thought that was an interesting theory. So who do you think would come back if you know? I mean, besides the ones that we kind of already.
I think everybody's coming back.
You think everybody's coming back?
Everybody's coming back. I think everybody's going to come back, and I think some of them will stand down. They're just going to be like, this is just too much. You know, after all this has happened.
I think the majority are going to come back, but I think I think I think there's going to be some that aren't coming back to kind of like make the seriousness of this event, you know, more real. Yeah. You know? Like, okay, not everybody's coming back from this kind of thing. Do you think we're going to see the children of Thanos again at some point? No?
After he goes, that's it.
No. I'm saying like in the next Avengers movie at some point, because again he has all the Infinity Stones.
He does, but I mean, if he's already at peace, what's the point? Because he's already done what he wanted to do.
The thing is, he's at peace, but there is a sense of remorse, because little Gamora did ask him, you know, did you do it? He's like, yeah. He's like, what did it cost you? And he says, everything. So I mean, there is a hint of remorse in him, and there's been times in the comics where Thanos has like reversed things because he really tripped out. He was like, oh, like this is crazy. Because who wants to be, and I'm saying this in a more human aspect in a sense, who wants to be alone forever? You know, he's on his place. His people are dead.
Yeah.
He's the only one. You know, yeah, it'd probably be cool for a while. Yeah. But then after a while, you'd be like, man, playing kickball with himself.
Handball.
You see him crocheting. Like, all right, he's crocheting like an infinity glove. No, like a glove for his gauntlet.
A bigger mitt.
An oven mitt for the Infinity Gauntlet. But yeah, so I mean, in all honesty, it's like, what if he like really realizes like, like this isn't worth it. Yeah. I lost my daughter.
Go back.
And all this stuff. Yeah, maybe I reverse it, and then not everybody comes back, kind of thing. Or he reverses it, and then Tony Stark and Captain America die.
Well, I mean, you know, that could be a possibility. You know, different deaths. Different deaths. Everybody comes back, but then different people die.
Yeah.
And they die. You know, just
now deaths like Loki and Heimdall and all that stuff. I think those are permanent. Yeah. I don't think those. I think those are permanent. Early. I don't think that they're coming back. No. This is before he had the gauntlet and all that stuff.
It's before time.
Land before time. But yeah, so overall, we loved the movie. We thought it was cool. Again, right when the movie ended, it was just like complete dead silent in the theater. Yeah. And then we got the post credit scene. There was only one post credit scene, and it was of Maria Hill and Nick Fury in the city, basically their view of everybody disintegrating. Yeah. I think you saw planes running into buildings and things, and then they show Maria Hill's like, Nick, you know, and then she starts disintegrating too. He's like, oh my god! Like, he starts running.
He turns around.
He goes and grabs his pager
Yeah, big old bulky pager.
It's like a space pager.
Yeah.
and then right in that moment, he's like, "Mother."
Well, yeah.
And then he disintegrates too, dropping the pager, and we see sending ... and then bing, and it's the Captain Marvel logo insignia with the colors and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, ain't nobody had a pager that had colors.
I know, right?
But literally, if you looked at it, it was a pager.
It was a pager.
It was a space pager. That was very odd.
Yeah.
But I got excited.
Not like a button, just like
I got excited. Everybody that I was watching the movie with did not know what that was.
Yeah.
Because again, I feel like if you're going into this, you have to kind of have somewhat of a understanding of what these characters are, what this event means.
And I mean, and what could happen is like what happened to me, like when I asked about the cell phone, that was an end credit scene where, no, right? Yeah,
it was right at the end. It wasn't an end credit scene.
It wasn't. Oh,
no.
Okay. Well, okay. Well, something like that could happen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there was like one person in the theater. I heard way up there. They go, Captain Marvel. Oh, okay. Thank God. Like we didn't know that.
But yeah, so there was people that I was with didn't understand the significance of that. So I had to tell them, and they were like, "Oh, okay, I don't know what you're talking about."
There's like groups around David.
Like, oh, I don't know.
He was
what you're
turning into
about.
a prophet. Everybody, calm the fuck down.
But I thought that was a really good lead-in to Captain Marvel, because the next movie is going to be Ant-Man and the Wasp, which takes place before Infinity War. Which I actually didn't understand that initially, but I was like, you know what? I guess that's kind of cool, and it makes sense because they talk about him being on house arrest, so that we get to see what happens. And at the end, probably him coming out of I'm gonna guess and say coming out of the quantum realm, and then realizing like, what happened?
What if in the Deadpool movie somebody dies? They do
like that.
Somebody disintegrates.
That'd be interesting.
And he's like, what?
Well, I mean, he name checks Thanos in there.
It does.
And the DC universe.
And oh man, did you see that meme? The DC logo.
Oh yeah.
That was my favorite.
And so yeah, I think it's a cool lead in to Infinity War. I think that'll be interesting for the Ant-Man. And then the Captain Marvel movie. The Captain Marvel movie. It takes place in the 90s, so it has no connection to Infinity War at all.
Okay.
And then the next movie right after that is going to be Infinity War 4.
Okay.
So I think that's kind of cool. We're having like a little break from this bigger story for just a little while, and then we'll see what happens next year. With Infinity War 4, who knows? I mean Infinity War 4, the Avengers 4. Who knows? We might end up, at the tail end credits of that.
Wait,
since it's coming out next year.
Avengers 4 is the second part for the... No? So
well, it is, but it isn't. I mean, obviously, it's going to continue the story along. Because they did say Thanos will return on the thing. So they are going to continue the story along in Avengers 4, but it's not Infinity War 2. I think what it's going to be called, and this is me... I had this idea right when I left the theater, and then I started seeing it pop up everywhere. I think it's going to be called Avengers Endgame.
I have seen it too.
Yeah,
because that's
I was
name that they don't
walking
want.
to the car. I was walking to the car, and I got in. I don't like to say anything until I get into the car because people walk in. And, no, I'm serious. Quiet.
All right. So
no, I'm serious, literally, because I don't want to say too much if somebody's walking in the theater and they want to go see the movie. I don't want to say anything.
Yeah.
And then we got in the car. I'm like, you know what? I have this feeling that it's gonna be called Avengers Endgame because that's what Doctor Strange said. We're in the end game, and then it felt like it was like a pointed at type of phrase. Yeah. But yeah, so after that, I'm thinking, who knows? I guess maybe at the end of it, since now we're dealing with multiverses and space and time and all that stuff. What if they open a portal and you see, Claw come out? You see, I don't know, the X-Men or Venom or whatever.
That's what
I'm saying, man.
What I said. You can't ignore me, man. I'm saying, what if somebody? Well, I mean, come on, like, I think it's gonna happen. I think they're gonna start merging. They need help
because by this time though, next year, the deal is gonna be done. So, who knows?
And what we mean by that is that they are supposed to
the Disney Fox deal.
Yeah, that means that Disney can.
Yeah. So who knows? I mean, I don't think it's gonna be a straight up like, oh, hey guys, Wolverine's here, you know, I think it's gonna be like a nod, like they're gonna see something with like claw marks or something like that. That'd be really cool.
Nah,
like a Freddy versus Jason type of thing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jason Goes to Hell, where we saw the claw. Yeah, something like that. But I think we're gonna get something like that to where it opens up everything. Or I would love an appearance by the Fantastic Four. That'd be cool.
Something.
Yeah.
Yes. They need help.
So that'd be interesting.
I really thought the Silver Surfer was gonna come out in this movie.
Yeah.
I really thought, man.
I told you, it was like, it's kind of hard to really have IMDb be dependable because people can edit that stuff all the time, just like Wikipedia. But yeah, so anyway, we love the movie. Thank you guys for hanging out with us for this whole Avengers spoiler discussion. Yeah. This is very in depth. I'm sorry we didn't kind of deal with the chat too much. Because there was a lot to talk about. And we appreciate each and every one of you guys hanging out with us. Shout out to Big Neck. What's up?
Big Neck, man. You
keep visiting cinemadeviant.com for all your movies, news, reviews, trailers. Go to facebook.com/cinemadeviant. Go hit that like button there. Twitter, cinemadeviant. Snapchat, cinemadeviant. All those other social medias. Just search cinemadeviant. John, what are your social medias?
Instagram, I think it's Spawn94AEW. If not, Bob894. And same thing with Snapchat, just flip-flop, whatever. Just go look it up. I think I get hit up more on Instagram than Snapchat. Which
so do I.
Cool, it's fine. It's fine with me. It's cool. So
Spawn94AEW. I don't really post much anything on Snapchat.
I just do that as like updates and stuff like that. Or
if more people started like following me there, I would probably post more stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like I did like an update on this the podcast, and it was Megatron.
Oh yeah, I saw it. Hey guys,
here's me, Megatron.
Don't snap, please. Don't snap.
Oh, that'd be a good way to just like.
I know, just go out.
Yeah. Hold on.
I can't edit it though. I don't have no way of doing that. Anyway, again, thank you guys so much for checking out this episode. We really appreciate it. We appreciate all your support. And with all that being said, we will catch you next time.
No, wait.